The Ilupeju Estate Landlords and Residents Association. I welcome each and every one of you here today. I'd like to introduce our panelists, and our moderator, so that you know the people who will be moving the program along this morning. To my right is our moderator, Mr. Ilupeju. He is the CEO and Managing Director of Diamond Publications Limited. He also is the founder of Diamond Awards for Media Excellence, known as the DAME Awards. The 2015 version occurred a few weeks ago at the Oriental Hotel, and I recall that Punch newspaper won several awards. DAME Awards is highly recognized. I think they're celebrating 20 years this year, and they've always been measuring media excellence. So I consider it an honor to have Mr. Ilupeju with us. Our panelists today are distinguished Ilupeju professionals, people who will help us to bring out the best of knowledge and information from our candidates and from the audience. The first one to the left is Professor Finisha Oyekome. She's a 20-year Ilupeju resident. She's a professor of demography at the University of Lagos, Africa. She also is the vice chairman of Suramogaji Oyetola Idowu Olabisi Street Association. Now, everyone, of course. Seated next to her is another professor. We brought you the very best. Another professor, a distinguished professor of anatomy. Professor of Anatomy, Professor Dayo Ejiwobi. He's retired now, but he, in his second coming, was the vicar of All Souls Anglican Church in Ilupeju on Cherry Close. He has also recently retired from that profession and is now an elder statesman in the area. Thank you for that. My third panelist is Barrister Ehi Oseroho. Barrister Ehi Oseroho, who has been in 1998. He is a barrister at law, engaged in the practice of business law. He owns his own law practice, and he was a fierce advocate for the basketball court that was renovated by Destiny. What you see there today as a result of his activism is why that project eventually saw fruition. So these are our three panelists and our moderator, and they will move the program along for us today. We're going to begin this event with an opening prayer, and who better to do it for us than Venerable Dr. Professor Ejiwobi. Thank you.
Pray, and if you will not normally move your heart when you pray, please keep it on. This is a political arena. So no religion has tolerance. But because I cannot pray as a Christian and as a Muslim at the same time, I pray as I am as a Christian. So please join us as we do so. So we will have this and we pray. Father, we thank you that you are the Lord of all creation, the Lord of all men. And through you, all of us have a being. We live and move and have a being in you. No man has a greater authority in any area of life that is outside what you have assigned to him or to her. It is in pursuance
of that privilege that you have given us, that we are gathered here this afternoon. We pray that your presence will be among us, will be felt among us.
And it is good that residents of Ilupeju are putting together this exercise. In the words of our chief host, Mr. Dario Akitobi, the exercise is designed to help residents of Ilupeju to make wise and informed choices, to also make your votes count. And looking around this hall, seeing about 1/3 full, I think it's a welcome development, it's a good start, and it is my hope that as we move along, more people will join us. And for those of us who are here, I think it is right and proper for us to give ourselves a round of applause. The list I have states there are 6 candidates expected here today, and there are 2 groups. Candidates for the State House of Assembly and those for the House of Representatives. May I invite those who are here now, and I'll start with the House of Representatives. The names that I have as follows: for Accord Party, Honorable Kako Are. For the PDP, I have Mr. Femi Akibade. It is here. For the APC, I have Honorable Yemi Ali. If he's here, he's not yet here. Okay. So very quickly, let's move to the State House of Assembly candidates. For the Accord Party, Mr. Mustafa Yaraya. For the PDP, Engineer Akim Olomowewe. And for the APC, Honorable Fumi Pedro-Show, if she's here. Okay, not yet here. Okay. Now, we need to agree on some ground rules. I like the way you welcome them with very, very strong applause. But for the rest of the program, I want to plead with you. We don't want you to applaud anybody. When questions are directed at the candidates, let's listen very, very carefully to their responses, and let's resist the temptation to clap. To the candidates, this is an opportunity for them to sell themselves to us, to explain their plans, there are programs for this community. It is not to be an exercise in hurling abuse at each other. It is not an exercise in mudslinging. We want to make it as issue-based as possible. We want, for those of us who are here, we want it to be worth our while for coming here to listen to them and to also have the opportunity to ask some questions on our own. The panelists, they will do most of the questioning, but as we progress at regular intervals, we will welcome questions from the floor. In doing so, please introduce yourselves, direct the question to anyone if it is a specific question at a candidate, or if it is a general question. You'll also make it clear that it's a general question that can be answered by any of them. Without further ado, we will now start with self-introduction. The candidates will have 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, to introduce themselves to us. This will be like their opening remarks. And as we progress, they will have the opportunity to say more. And then we will also have that opportunity to assess the way they field questions, their responses to the questions directed at them. So I'm going to start in an order that is just convenient, and that is with the nearest candidate to the table, to my table. Please introduce yourself. 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator. Good afternoon, the Israelis and members of the Ilupeju Resident Association. My name is Alhaj Mustafa Odondari Yahya. I live here in Ilupeju, specifically number 12 in the street family. I'm a politician, I'm a businessman. I was born on the 24th of January 1965. I schooled at Mushin West Primary School, Idio. I attended Maturi Grammar School, Okota in Solo. I studied human resource management in University of Lagos. I am a politician representing our party. I'm contesting for the position of Lagos State House of Assembly. Thank you very much.
He has done it in 1 minute. I told you, do not applaud. Do not applaud. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The panelists, good afternoon. Our royal highness present, our leaders in the community, and the general audience. I say good afternoon to you all. Akim Olamowo is my name. The flag bearer for the State House of Assembly in the PDP. I was born in 1969, and I did my primary and secondary education here in Lagos. My primary education at St. Paul Primary School in Idio, and Subachu Islamic High School in Yaba. Before I proceeded in 1986 to Oxford University in Ife. I studied engineering physics. After that, I was posted to River State, Port Harcourt, 1991, where I did my youth service. There I also furthered my education by having a postgraduate degree in electrical design at the University of Science and Technology. I also bagged a postgraduate degree in business administration from the University of Ilupeju in Ilupeju. It's a good thing that something like this is happening in our society. I think it's a departure from what it used to be, and I think it will pave a new way for development of the society. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The panelists, elders of our community, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Abayo Kapoi. I'm the member presently representing you and maybe constituency, House of Representatives. I want to thank you for giving me that opportunity to us. I've been a member from 2007 to 2011, and from 2011 to this year. I was born 55 years ago in Ibadan, Ranaji and Elijah Kirwes. I did my primary school, Children's School, on the table. Secondly, at the Tutola Public School, Baptist High School, Shaki. My HSC, at the Grammar School, and I have my BSc accounting from the University of Mushin 1985. I'm an accounting graduate, and I have served for some years as an accountant before going into politics. I have over 30 years experience as a politician, and I've been representing Ilupeju, which we call the Mushin Constituency, since 1999. I have been around for some time. I decided to move to Ilupeju Street, Ulipa, not too far from here. And the areas I've been used to more frequently are all these places. Some of the things we've been able to do, most of it have been announced, but I'm sure you'll be distributing it very soon. I like education. One of the things I like doing, watching films, football, and assisting people. In fact, that's what motivates me to go into politics.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, distinguished panelists, Mr. Moderator, or Transitional Father, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very delighted to stand before you now. My name is Femi Akimbade. I'm the candidate for the PDP House of Representatives Constituency 1 in Mushin Local Government. I was born 56 years ago in Lagos. I attended Ilupeju Primary School in Mushin. Being the son of a police officer, we move about a lot. I later completed my primary school in government school, Ilupeju in Lagos, Central Lagos. I later proceeded to Utola College in Ijebu, graduated in 1974. I worked briefly with British Petroleum in Apapa, where I was able to save and travel to New York further stories. Fortunately, I'm sharing something with Honorable Kakwari and we put attended at the Hotel College. Now we're sharing something now. I graduated with an associate degree in banking and finance, my bachelor's in investment and economics. I worked with New York City Consumer Affairs. I'm a volunteer on the Obama campaign. I'm a volunteer also on Senator John Stewart, which represents my district in New York. I learned from the best democracy in the world, and I'm ready to transfer my knowledge and experience to my people in Constituency 1. I've been in the party. I'm a founding member of the PDP diaspora in New York, and I pledge to bring all the experience that I've acquired into making life better for people in Constituency 1 and Nigeria as well. My function today is to showcase my candidacy and that of my great party, PDP. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet all of you, and I'm sure our time with you today will be worthwhile. I'd like to recognize one or two people. All of you are recognized. I'd like to make special mention of one or two special guests we have in the audience. I'd like to welcome the Ilupeju of Ilupeju, Chief Korede Bisade Phillips. Now we have a round of applause. I'd also like to recognize Mrs. Modupe Shashore. Could we have a round of applause for Mrs. Shashore? I would like to also request that you all please put your mobile phones on silent. I still have more recommendations to you. You all please put your mobile phones on silent by doing anything possible so that you don't get distracted by various ringtones. I'd also like to recognize the chairman of the Ilupeju Residents Association Southwest Zone, Dr. Engineer Dr. Sholubi. Today I'll continue to recognize more people. I've just been reliably informed that Yemi Ali, who is the candidate for federal House of Representatives for the APC party, is on his way. I will be joining us in a few minutes. I've also been told that Honorable Ted Joshua is just rounding up a meeting at another location and will be on our way shortly as well. So they will join us in process. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we go into question time. Panelists, are we ready? Okay. We're going to start with Professor Yekong.
Thank you, moderator. All protocols, I would like each of the candidates to just tell us shortly what their vision is about education in their constituency. What do they hope to do for the people? How do they achieve?
Thank you very much, Professor. Education is the key to life. The first contact we have as human beings in life is our parents. After that, we move on to schools. That's where we're molded, what we're going to be in life. That's the formation of the character. Education is very important. We can see in our society today, there's a lot of rot in our schools due to non-performance of government. What I have in mind for my constituency in regards to education is empowerment for the youth, incentivement, entitlement for our teachers. When a teacher is not happy, he cannot be a good teacher. And an idle mind breeds danger. If we can organize, I'm going to organize something, and by the manifesto of my party, the first time in Nigeria, my part will be funding primary education. It's never been done before. Then we have another program that we're going to be training youth in all fields of education, both primary school education and secondary and university. Now, as a candidate for House of Representatives, my primary responsibility is to make good laws. Most people don't understand that. A lawmaker is not responsible for making laws. The good laws that I'm trying to do is part of it is engage the teachers more, retrain our teachers, so that when they have good paid salary, the problem of constant strike in our education system will stop. Because teachers need incentives. When teacher is underpaid, they tend to look for another avenue to make income. That's when the people suffer. So we need to do more for our teachers. We need to build good schools, not just a share. We need good schools, we need good teachers. We need to retrain our teachers. And we need to employ professional teachers, not someone with a degree in banking. They're important, but they are professional teachers. We need to use them more, and we need to help them with the better salary, so that the teacher teaches more, better schools, provide probably, if it's possible, depending on budget, provide at least meal at the school level. Once a day, I think that will be enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Once again, I think the key here is for education to be for all as in all. That has always been an issue, has been on it for some years. And we still continue with education for all is true. Whether you are a student going to school or whether you are planning a trade, you still have a school maybe in the evening that you are presently looking to go. Whether you are a market owner, at your spare time, you can still go and learn how to read and write. The key word is to make sure everybody knows how to read and write. Because that's the cornerstone of the economy. We've done that all over the years. We've taken children to school so that free of charge. So it's not to say that I don't have money for transport, that's why I go to school. Outside that, we've organized these lessons for them doing all of this to make sure we keep them busy. Bearing in mind, having in mind is very small shop. And we make sure, like we are presently doing now, that we encourage our students to also look beyond our constraints when it comes to education. Most of our primary school living students are limited, always have their mission limited to secondary schools and everything. We started introducing, we are on a program now that encourages them, and we are presently pushing them to look outside our immediate environment, federal government colleges, modern colleges, international colleges. Like I said, the vision is to make sure for anybody that wants to read and learn, do it at the minimum cost possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Education, the bedrock of human existence. It can be in so many ways. But mostly, the bottom line of education that we can give to our children next week our women in the house. So the education we give to them, we do it one way to transform and complement whatever it is in the nation. Having said that, there's a lot of parents in our society today. The reason is not perfect because the education is not adequate. Most schools we find there are teachers for some subjects, and the majority of the subjects that students are supposed to learn, they go there to do cities and not there. The teachers are not available. Either as a result of shortage, but then it's not a problem. The problem of the government is now, what can we do to assist in this work? By the special grace of God, people are blessed in this work as a member of the House of Assembly. I will take a good look at the education in our society and how it travels. I say religion has a lot to play on our education. And when you look at most of the schools we have around today, religious education is not there, either Islamic or Christian education. They are missing. We need to look at this. What can we do to assist? And I assure you that the teachers are supposed to take them this education are made available. So many pastoral schools, they turn out pastors to teach religious knowledge, in terms of Christian religious knowledge. Some of them are there, they don't have anything. Why can't we use them in these schools to teach our children religious education? There are so many scholars in the Islamic field too that have graduated. So when you see what they call but why can't we engage all those people in our schools to ensure that we give our students the basic religious knowledge that they need? This will go a long way to mold our children. It will go a long way to mold the children. Now, looking at it, Ilupeju, we cannot completely remove it from Mushin Constituency. Fine, everything is available there. But what happened to the other side? What about the aristocrats? We are all aware of what is going on. If religious education is taken seriously in our school, I believe this will go a long way to mold these children. And what we have there will be reduced to a greater amount, if not completely eliminated. Having said that, we can also assist in the area of encouraging the students. We talk of scholarship. I'm not saying any scholarship program going on in our society today. These are things I intend to look at when we get there. Most of our people that cannot afford to train these children is fine, the education is free, but completely it is not free. If you go a long way, if we can afford to give scholarship to most of our brilliant children in the school, it will assist the parents as well as assist the children in molding them to be better leaders of tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Your time is up, right? I only gave you 30 seconds extra. Don't worry, there will be other opportunities. So, thank you very much. So, we'll move to Mr. Daria.
I will not agree with my colleagues that building schools is scholarship. It's not enough. I believe if I am elected, inshallah, I will embark to make sure all our children they are child literate. That's my number two. Going to school alone cannot do it. Going to school alone cannot do it. Not everybody will go to university. Not all children can handle textbook. And then the trade is part of education. Learning trade by learning, tailoring, learning other all kinds of I will ensure with all my power to make sure children that are willing. For instance, we are together. Scholarship is being given to children. It's not given at all. It's given and we motivate the parents by if the government allow me to scholarship. We motivate the parents by giving 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira every parent. Indirectly. By doing this, all our children will be educated. One, let me mention, a child moving from Ilupeju to Ilupeju, for instance, from Ilupeju to Mushin Constituency, from Mushin to Constituency, that is 100 naira. From Constituency, say, back to their destination again, that is 200. 225,000. That is 5,000. That is being given to every parent, every. So by doing this is the kind of giving scholarship to our children. We are going to embark, we will assist this kind of program to go on. So it will enable some parents to fund their children. Giving themselves here, I'm going to embark, add more effort to that to ensure we get enough educated children.
Thank you. Well, we've listened to all the candidates address the issue of education. Professor Olekomi, do you have a follow-up question on this subject of education, or would you yield your place to another panelist?
We have another round.
No, I'm still talking on the issue of education.
Education.
Yes, please.
Yes, because one of the scholars said that they are just there to make laws. Make laws and to ensure the implementation of the laws. How do we get efficient implementation? And so far, I think only one of the panelists has mentioned that he has done something before, which one can then assume that he will do more. But the remaining three people have not told us how they will achieve what they have proposed. So I thought they would mention that.
Okay. Go.
So maybe if I take this along, what exactly is the problem of education in Ilupeju? Has any of you actually evaluated the schools in Ilupeju and said, oh, this is the problem, this is how we need to address it?
Absolutely possible. But I've been in experience to some reality. And I know no matter how good the laws are, executing is another. And that has always been the problem we have in democracy in Nigeria. We have, in most cases, executive not willing to implement laws as fast as the executive, whether it's in project, whether it's in ordinary laws. And the issue has always been like that. And no matter how good the laws are, it depends on which one the executive implement. Unfortunately, we have an unwilling public always inside of the executive. If there is any problem between the legislature and the executive, it's always the support of the executive. has always been at the beginning, and that has always been the base that our democracy refuses to take off. The executive has not allowed the legislature and the judiciary to function effectively as so the government execution we always do as to whether we do at the education and I can say to you that the problem are multifaceted. One, school periods. We have a situation where we have to overpopulated classes. The teacher thinking of 100 to 120 students at a time. Although we will be able to address that by building more secondary students, more classrooms with all these schools. Two, teachers not attending to students when it's supposed to do. If you take everything at the end of everything, you see a student asking for the student, look at what they have done. Maybe they will do videos out of the videos. And they are overwhelmed. That's what happened. See, because of this one and two, overcrowded classroom, teachers want in their the students. The students now have more time on their life. And as the saying, I do mind is very small. Because if the student is supposed to be in class for 8 periods and it's only 2 or 3 periods, he gets to do more themselves. So, having been in government, those are some of the problems. And what we be able to do is to, because the state, for a period of time, have not been able to employ more teachers. So what we can do is to get programs for employers who are adult teachers who need to schools. So we'll be able to pay them for the new need. Two, every slightest opportunity to vary one program or the other. During our time, we have debating societies, we go into sports, inter-school sports. All these ones are not available now, but we try to bring some of them. And we've done such, just to make sure the students are pleased. What we need to do is for every one of us to be part of this. So, because we cannot do it, and we want to acknowledge the support of the religious organization like Founding of that church and some other churches is becoming around. Look at some of these structures. Even toilets is a problem in most of these schools. So we appeal to them. Don't say it's a government. I have a policy that I've always used that if I can take care of my children and they are good, what of others that the neighbors to them? If they are bad, tendencies are bad, and children also. So that should always be thank you very much.
Thank you.
Talking about education procedure is under the body just because the government of the day is not doing what it's supposed to do. That is why we find most of the activities under their body any transfer to the legislators in the constituencies. Ordinarily, we don't expect to reward the payment of teachers. So all the executives are not doing what they are supposed to do. Now, as an honorable member in the House, it is my duty to ensure that all the legislated laws that have been put in place are properly followed, so that the executives can be checked and ensure that do what they need to do to ensure that education runs smoothly in our constituency. Having said that, it will take a long time. It's not just going to be a good process, because we know that the independent government, especially the political, is really very hard. But to adduce to it, the reason being that most people in the House is always filled with members of a particular group. I believe when there is a change in the House, a lot of things will be put in place. We will agree and disagree on a lot of issues that are supposed to be. Now, but in the time being, what can we do to assist? I've mentioned before the issue of scholarship, the issue of religious studies in school, which we know that there are quiz competitions that we can organize to encourage the students. Those are part of the things we can do. Mathematics competition, Christian religious competition, Islamic or Arabic competition, all these competitions we can easily do it. It gives the children encouragement. Because any child that knows that there's something at stake somewhere, he will willingly walk towards that thing. Quiz competition is one of those things we don't organize and be at a large scale. We've done that before on a smaller scale. We can do that when we're in the house on a larger scale. Now, constituency projects. These are things we can do. Like most of the schools that we're talking about. The house is allowed to have constituency projects. What happens to all these projects? What happens to the votes that have been voted for this project? They are not being properly utilized. That's why you have so many children crammed together in one classroom. We can reduce it, we can improve on it through constituency projects. Now, having said that, I know that as a person, an individual who is here to be in the house, I've done a lot in terms of empowering people through education. For example, presently, there's a school I've organized, especially for those that have passed through secondary school and are not willing to go further in the area of skill acquisition. The school is presently running. On a 2-month basis, we turn out close to 200 students. They learn different trades. Bead making and wire work. Some of them are already students. They are using this to earn money on their own. That aside, tailoring is another aspect that we need to do. It's running presently at about 44 graduations. I want to do it. What I want to do was to employ the teachers and have a director of studies who manages the school. It is a free empowerment. There are people there. I only run between 150 to 200,000 naira every month to run the school. If I can do that at this level, I believe I can transform a lot within a short period of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know candidates. At least 3 of them said they attended primary school within this constituency. And I was just wondering, when was the last time that any of you visited any of these schools I'm asking that so that we can have an understanding of the problems that those schools currently face. Mr. Akibale, you want to start? Oh, sorry. Mr. Yaya, I find myself. We will talk about it later.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again. We want to mention that the problem of education in the law is not by building schools, once again, by giving children giving exercises. But the problem is with the parents, some of the parents. I want to refer to on another part of this. I also work there, work together. We invited many parents when we noticed some bad things with their children, but some of them will not come. If I'm elected to represent this constituency, I am going to monitor the way we've been doing it in the past. We monitor the education. Even if huge amount is being given to the constituency as mentioned, if monitoring is out of it, definitely we are not doing anything. We are not doing anything. We must monitor it. We engage in free coaching session here at Ilupeju here during the holidays. On that father and me, we are always there monitoring the children, facing what all those teachers are facing. We pay the teachers. If you notice some problems with the teachers at the secondary school, we went into it. We talk to them, what are your problems? We've been in it, and we know how to do it when we get the inshallah. We are going to emphasize on letting the parents know why they must be there for their children. Most children on the street regard as scouts or hoodlums as mentioned. Most of them, some of them are graduates. Find out. Some of them are graduates. But the parents, they are not bothered about it. They are not bothered. I've paid their school fees. So far they are not bothered. That is the result that they will get after nonchalant being involved. I attended my primary school education. I attended Mushin West Primary School. Mushin West Primary School. Mushin Town Council. Then they call it Mushin Town Council. Mushin West Primary School. Idiot. I always be there. I visited that compound frequently because I live around there. People some of us, they are big at the YP primary schools at Ilupeju. I visited the compound. I saw what is going on there. But somewhere in Masalashi Boston, there is primary school there. St. Paul African St. Paul Primary School. There are some problems there facing the teachers and the overcrowded class. In our office, we are probably we build 6 classrooms there. You can go there and find out. I have it here. I have to give it to you. We have it here. Even at Ilupeju, we have another one elected there. When you, inshallah, elect me, voted my party for, inshallah, we are going to do more on education. We have many things jotted down for education, not giving beds, exercises alone. We do it for us. Thank you, President.
Mr. Yaya, just a point of clarification. When you say we, who are the we?
I work under Mushin Constituency.
Okay. As an aide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. What of Mr. Akimbade? Your relationship with your old school, your alma mater?
Yeah, I can proudly tell you this. Fortunately, last week Friday, I was not aware of 2 weeks ago. I was not aware I was going to be on the debate. I ran into one of my old students in the primary school. He took a walk to the public school. The school is now divided into about 6 schools. It's crowded. The buildings are falling apart. And it's my objective that someday I'm going to return there, either a legislator or not, to go there to get entrepreneur to donate some money to the school. I'd like to address a little thing about what Yaya said about parents should monitor projects. It's not the responsibility of parents to monitor projects. Legislators are paid consequences fee. Legislators are paid consequences fees to work on some projects in their constituency. I like to recognize one thing here. Being in politics doesn't mean we don't have to give credit where it's due. I'm giving Honorable Akwame the credit for the free ride. But the other part of monitoring projects or the students is not the responsibility of the parents themselves are victims of the state government. One of your parents that has no money to feed the children. How are they going to educate the children also to going to school? I think the state government is going to abandon the citizens and the students. So it's so difficult from that to when the parents themselves are victims to. Thank you.
Well, I'm not here to move for the government about the international because I'm not in this. But what I can do is that if I like the first to monitor and like I said, we work closely together. I want to say to you, sir, that even calling a PTA meeting in schools, maybe you get an attendance of 20%. That's not even at night, parents to check books. If they are not educated, to get somebody else to check. What have you done today? What have you done those 2 days? It's not. That's what is referring to. And that's one of the problems we have. Because even if a teacher does the job, invites parents, they know most of them, sometimes most of them will not. And not until that level spending, they are not. As to visiting schools, especially alma mater, well, I will come to the house. I have been the good access and development. But for schools like really, Ilupeju is not going to I monitor them, I know what the problems are. And since I'm part of them, like I said, education has always been my main project. And let me correct one impression given by good friend when he said legislators are not doing constituency plans. If we are given to do one project or the other, you will see a lot of us have to check. You have to check. Monies that are given as allowances. Put yourself on the first class to Abuja. Put yourself on the first class to London. Entertain your friends. They know we have to go out, we have to socialize. They know we have to dress. That's what they expect. They know we have to go on cars, very good cars. That's the money to do. And I can let anybody here. Fortunately, the Nigeria budget is a public document. You can even go with it. You can see whether there is other national assembly or even state legislators, whether there is transparency and analysis. But I do agree that there are transparency projects. And I want to say that I am one of the initiators of that transparency project. When we were in Lagos State House of Assembly. Although the government there, actually, is not allowed to work. But I want to say, and I want to agree, conspiracy projects are meant so that all the conspiracy all over this country can have maybe federal state government impact. Because if you don't do that one, it's always very difficult for you to have projects in your conspiracy. The government, if there is no conspiracy allowance, there is a possibility of conspiracy projects. If there are no conspiracy projects, there is a possibility of the government leaving your conspiracy out for a whole year, for years. So what that law says, and we should always hammer on, is that the percentage of the capital force should be used to develop projects all over. And that's what we believe to do. What the legislative responsibility is all about is not to recommend projects. Recommend. You are not even allowed to make contracts. You don't even know. In most cases, even the contractors will get to that without us knowing.
Just going into the house. I have not seen the house before. And all the projects that are created are things I am proposing to do when I get to the house, which by the special grace of God I will get. My honorable sir, when I was mentioning constituency, I meant constituency. Now, I'm happy to tell everybody here that I am the joint president of Zomatu Islamia ISO Alumni Association. Visiting the school has always been part of what I do on a regular basis. We hold our meeting once every month. We hold our meeting once every month. As the president of the alumni, the first time I visited the school, I saw the dictators in the school. And I took it upon myself as a challenge with my colleagues. We have to provide for them a good toilet facility because it was not available. When we worked on this, we discovered there was no water. We had to ensure that the borehole was sunk in the school and we provide water facility. We've done the renovation of classrooms and we've done scholarship scholarship to indigent students in the school. These are some of the things that were done as a result of my own past. The full title is Giving Back to the School at Lagos. So, in terms of giving back to the school, we've done a lot. I am the president of that organization. We've achieved so much under my leadership, which is
Thank you very much. Just on the side note, Engineer Lomogoy, were you a footballer when you were in school? I know that the Muratu Islamia school produced some great footballers like the late Haruna Ilerika, MN, Tajuddin Ajabu. And why don't we hear about the Muratu Islamia when we talk about football these days? Maybe something we should look into.
Yeah, truly, we are working on something like that, like this sports competition, which we will have very soon. The project has so many, but within our little resources, we take them step after step. Especially when we got there was nothing like PTA, Parent Teachers Association. It was abolished. But what we had was Parent Teachers Forum, and it was not functioning. But we have to call the chairman of the two schools, the secondary and the senior secondary and the junior secondary, had a meeting with them, and the thing is kicking off now. So we're doing a lot for the school.
Okay, thank you.
As for the football, I was doing TikTok, but it was not my problem. So
okay, that's all right. We have a full house now. When we started, two of our candidates, the contestants were not around, but they are here now. So we just asked them to do what every other person had done before their arrival, and that is to give 2 minutes of self-introduction. May I invite Honorable Funlayo Tedoshu to please introduce herself to us in 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Hello? Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues on the high table. My name is Honorable Mrs. Adefimilayo Tedoshu, and before I go on, I first and foremost have to apologize for coming late. If you notice, the two APC candidates came in late, myself and Honorable Yemi Ali, who were with the governor on the meeting, and you know how it is this time of election, is one meeting after the other. It is not a PVC meeting to make sure that all our members get their PVC. It is a meeting to make sure that everything goes smoothly the way it should. So we need to apologize to you, and we have to remember he's still the sitting governor of Lagos State, and we have to continue to give him that regard. Let me start from my childhood. I went to Queen's College, Yaba, Lagos. First, University of Lagos Staff School at Oka, Yaba. Then Queen's College, Yaba, Lagos. Then I finished my secondary education at St. Francis High School in Morgantown, West Virginia. I further went to University of West Virginia to study biology. I actually wanted to do medicine because my father, a medical doctor, actually wanted all his children to be medical doctors. But I realized that I couldn't stand the sight of the blood, and every time I saw a sick patient or somebody died, it became a big issue for me. So I realized that the attachment was a bit too much with the patients and the work that we were doing in the lab. And my father insisted that I complete that biology because my grades were very high. And he felt that having the grades, eventually I'll be able to adjust to the size of blood. But after that first degree, I came to Nigeria for my NYSC. I taught in Queen's College, Yaba, Lagos, my alma mater, and I was teaching science and biology for the senior class, science for the junior class, which comprises of physics, chemistry, and biology. By that time, I had applied to study law. My two senior sisters were already lawyers, and I decided that instead of following my father and my brother with medicine, I would go and do law. So I applied to the University of Buckingham, and before I finished NYSC, with the good results I had, they had already given me admission into that school. And my father, being a man that encouraged education, did not hesitate to pay my school fees at the University of Buckingham. So after I finished that, I came to Nigeria for the Nigeria Law School and was called to the Nigeria Bar. Then I started working as the law barristers and solicitors and decided that I wanted to do my master's in law because we have to realize that for us to be able to compete as women or as human beings in the society of today, you must continue to better yourself in your field of endeavor. So I went to University of Lagos to do my master's and I completed the master's with honors. And at the present time, I'm doing my PhD in law at the University of Lagos. Apart from that, I've been a member of the House of Assembly since 2003, former Deputy Chief Whip, former Deputy Speaker, now the Chairman of the Finance Committee of Lagos State House of Assembly. I've lived in the community for a very long time, married to my husband, Prince Kayode Joshua, my high school sweetheart, and I have 4 children, a daughter and 3 boys, and I thank God for my children's life and my life and my husband's life. What else can I say about myself? Do you want me to go on into what I have done?
You spent 2 minutes. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I want to take the same addressing that was taken by my sister. Mr. Gentlemen, and the idea is my name. I was born here about 50 years ago in Mushin, Lagos, Nigeria. I attended primary school. I also proceeded to Archbishop Aggie Boys Secondary School in Mushin. After my secondary school education, I got admission to get as main where I have been over in I started working with the National Bank. I started as a senior medical officer in 1987. On that course, I was there for almost 5 years before I went to my postgraduate diploma in public admin at Olabisi University, then now University. Having done that, I proceeded to Outed in the promotion for master degree in National University. I tell myself, the people of my area were not sure going to Mushin. I mean, to attend them as a councillor in 1999. I won the election at the council. After that, I got appointed by the governor of Lagos State, who then was the governor of the state, the president secretary of newly created council, which you know which way that council in that area. I was there as a secretary. I decided to contest election as a council chairman. I contested 3 times and I won. I've been married to my little wife, BNC, and I have 4 children. 4 boys and a lady. And they are one primary party of APC last December. I've seen this federal constituency in Abuja on February 20. Thank you.
Well, for those who just came in, part of the ground rules is that there is no applause. You do not heckle anybody, you do not clap, we just listen to them, and there's no room for personal abuse. We've done one round of discussion. We've tackled the issue of education. May I invite Professor Ejumi? Well, you did a follow-up to Professor Yokomi's initial question, so you can ask your question now.
If you don't mind, Mr. Oluto, we are not sitting in sequence of questions. We agreed among ourselves that Mr. He would ask the next question, if you don't mind.
Okay, all right, no problem. Barrister.
The function of the legislature is to pass laws and to act as perform oversight functions on what the executive does. I still find it very difficult why there is this behavior in our society where we believe that when we want to perform oversight functions of the executive, we believe that there's a quarrel, that we take it personal and we break down. So the question I have, and I feel it's an aberration for there to be constituency allowances and all that, when or constituency projects, when it's not the function of the legislature to perform executive duties. So the question I would want to ask, we spend a lot of time on education. People can move to some other areas as it affects our community here. So my question would be, is twofold. One, if you are elected, how will you perform your oversight functions, no matter whose box is God, whether the government is from your party or not? It's supposed to be irrelevant. So that's my first question. My second question is, other than education, can you name 4 other areas, very briefly, 4 other areas where you will be of service to this community? Thank you.
Okay, I think Engineer Ilupeju should take that first. After Honorable Ilupeju, and then Mr. Mustapha Yaya. There are 2 questions really. The first one is how you intend to exercise your oversight functions, notwithstanding if you come from the same party with the governor, right? And the second one, apart from education, you have to name 4 other important issues or important areas that will engage your attention if you are elected or re-elected to the House. So, Engineer Ilupeju first, Honorable Ilupeju second, and then Mr. Yaya third.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. We had a lot of okay. So, how will I perform my oversight function? It's unfortunate the house we have at the present moment is an all-comers house. All-comers in the sense that people in the layman's term will say the yes sir never. The reason is simply because the house belongs to a single party. So they are more or less like a rubber stamp for the executive arm of the government. I believe when we have a house consisting of so many other parties who are intellects, who have the unique knack for legislative duties, all this oversight function is carried out with ease. But it will be a shame, for instance, if one person is from an opposition party, the other people have a field day, his voice will not be heard, my voice will not be heard. But even at that, I as a member, I will ensure that I stand my ground. Whatever that needs to be done, I will do it to ensure that what is supposed to be will be in terms of the legislative duties that needs to be done in the House. I will say that on other issues that one can plan to do for the community. In the past, I've done monetary assistance projects for people. I live on the other side of the constituency. That's talking about Mushin, where we have the downtrodden, the poor. When you live among them, you understand what they feel. You understand what they are going through on a daily basis. There are so many that want to do one thing or the other. even common 10,000 naira goes a long way to assist in trading. I've done that so many times, and I still intend to do that. That is talking in terms of monetary assistance for those that are willing to do it. Another thing I'm planning to do is this. I know we can issue loan to these people, interest-free loan. I've done that on a small scale, but we can still replicate it on a larger scale. They take the money from the purse, trade with it. After a period of time, they bring it back to the purse. There are people that will be set up to monitor this, and I believe it's something that can work. If those people are taken out of the society, then we have less burden of poverty. Now, another angle I look at it is this. We have 8 wards in this constituency. Out of that 8 wards, we have people who are elders, mostly within the age bracket of 55 and above, who find it very difficult to eat. I'm speaking reality. Who find it very, very difficult to eat. What can we do? It is my plan to form them into committees, which I did a similar something like that during the last time that I contested. Form them into committees. We have 10 people as a group. Let them produce a youth who I'm going to buy a tool for. And I ask the youth to pay back for that tool after working with it over a period of time, little by little. I expect this money will go a long way to assist the elders. If the elders will come together and form themselves into a group, I will cite an instance. It is easy to give a manual of 430,000 naira to a youth. Pay back this over a period of time. The 10 people that form that committee that brought the youth can be receiving that money at the end of the month as their stipend, which are called monthly monetary assistance. It can be repeated over a period of time. If you have 11 people going out of the system, there are so many other people attached to that youth, either the wife, the children. Those circles are out of the system. I'm telling you, the bane of our society now is poverty. And that is talking in terms of what to eat, things of livelihood. Once we remove this from the system, the society will be alive. Only to be able to go to the share machine. That is another one I intend to do. Then one problem that is common in this our society, though we living on this side of Ilupeju may not see it as a problem really, but it is a problem. And that is this gang war. Every now and then you hear gun running. There are so many sects that have formed themselves to a gang. They are killing themselves on a daily basis. We may say it's not part of our society because they live on the other side and we live on this side. But I tell you, we ply that road. What is going to happen? Nobody is told. We God forbid bad thing. If we run into such a convoy, what do you think will happen? So, one of the things we're going to do is to end this gang war. The way we're going to go about it, I'm not going to explain it, but we're going to do it. And by the special grace of God, we will end it. That's number 3. Number 4, sport development. We see that in our constituency here, sport is not taken seriously. I tell you, when Man U and Arsenal is playing, the best of enemies will come together. Especially when they are in the same club. By the time Man U scores and they are in the same club, you will see they will hug each other without even knowing it. It is common. It is very easy to do. Why can't we have a sports competition? Very soon we're going to start one at Ilupeju space. But this time around it's going to be a draft competition. Draft and chess competition. Indoor game. And as as a member of FCMG, a draft governing body in the world, I believe we can take them to greater heights. If somebody can represent Nigeria, because at present there is no federation for draft association in Nigeria. If somebody can represent Nigeria at the international level, I believe it will go a long way, and if you encourage all the others that are coming here. That's in the area of soil development. And so many others that we can do. I believe God will give us the grace to do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to appreciate certain things. You spoke about when you were asking the question about other oversight functions, apart from oversight functions of education, what are the other things that we need to concentrate on? I think we must realize that the primary purpose of a lawmaker, that's a legislator, is to make laws. Then they should have the oversight functions to make sure that the things are running the way the law is saying the things should run. We must appreciate the fact that another crucial factor that a lawmaker should understand is the budget. The budget of the state that you are representing, the budget of the country that you are representing, and to be able to appreciate the internally generated revenue and how to encourage that to grow. We must look at things like health sector. We must look at things like women affairs and poverty alleviation. And the reason why I'm stressing women affairs and poverty alleviation and health is not basically because I'm a woman, but because the majority of us are in the society, not just as women, but we're the ones that have given birth to the men that stand forth today. When we talk about poverty alleviation, everybody in their little way has done poverty alleviation. I have done poverty alleviation several times. I remember that when I started this poverty alleviation program, the governor then, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was present, and I want to, say today that I'm very proud of that particular program because we touched a lot of people with several items that was purchased with my own personal money. I want to also say that the Women Affairs Ministry has now gone on a large scale to actually do poverty alleviation, skills acquisition, and things like that. And basically what happens is that when they train the man or woman in the skill or trade, they also provide the materials, the equipment needed for you to actually start that program. There's the balloon decoration, there's tie and dye, there's hairdressing, there's barbing, vulcanizing, mechanic, and so on and so forth. Then there's something called the Maternal and Child Mortality Reduction Program in Lagos State today. And I'm one of the few ambassadors that the governor Babatunde Raji Fashola actually put in place to make sure that we monitor the issue of maternal and child reduction, mortality reduction in the state. And that has actually gone a long way. The program basically is not saying only that you should go to the health centers. It's saying that even those that believe in the child givers, the traditional child gift bearers, those are the we encourage them to know their limitations. Because even when you go to a primary health center and you are giving birth, they can only do but so much. Where they know that they cannot handle, they don't have the equipment to maybe have cesarean or there's a very major complication, they would actually refer you and transfer you in the ambulance to the general hospitals who would actually take over delivery and make sure there's a successful delivery. The same thing we want the traditional caregivers to also appreciate their limits, where when the woman is laboring for several hours, the traditional caregiver must know when to refer the woman to the general hospital who will help to take delivery of the child and have a safe delivery for mother and child. Then we talk about housing. Housing is a major problem in any society of the world today. And if you look at the Western world, there's something called the low-income housing. And we realized that with the low-income housing, there was a lot of complaints not just in Lagos State, but in the Federation as a whole, where people could not really afford to purchase those houses. So the Lagos State government put something called the Lagos Homes in place, where you can take a mortgage and actually, as a first-time owner, so that those of us that have houses will not start taking advantage at the detriment of those that do not have houses. So it's a first home owner thing, and it is available for those that have income to be able to pay the loan, the mortgage, so that they can acquire those homes. Also, we appreciate things when we talk about things of these area boys and what have you. And my colleague here is telling us how this thing can be stopped by an individual or several people. I want us to appreciate something about this problem. It is a problem that has been in motion from probably before I was born. It is a problem that we have tackled as a government, and I think as the people of this constituency. I know that the Valles, I know that the Obas, I know that our chieftains, our leaders in different areas of the society of Mushin have. I remember even Chief Gani Adams brought them to the House of Assembly, wrote a petition, and we have tried to handle it. I remember that Honorable Yemi Ali, Honorable Kakware, distinguished Senator Solomon, Dr. Banure, and several of us had to go to the Commissioner of Police to actually sign an undertaking to try to make peace. I mean, put our own name on the line to try to make peace with these guys. We've even gone a step further to talk to the NURCW, because initially the problem was that they were bringing people from other local governments or areas to come and lord over them on the NURCW. We had a meeting as a leadership or stakeholder of this community to talk to the NURCW to include them in Mushin so that they can have something to do. We realized that some of them are even graduates. We've been able to get them employment in LASMA, in Loma, and what have you. Those ones have come out of that horror. Let me put it that way, because for lack of a better word, because it gives everybody concern. But unfortunately, some of them still hide under this NURCW to cause havoc. If you look at Sunday's paper, there was an outcry, I think, from a market, Ojuoye market, where the market women and men, the Iyaloja and the Babaloja, were crying out to the community for help. So there is a problem. And when people start using those kind of weapons that they use, it is the police that can solve that problem, because Governor Fashola does not have a gun, but he can talk to the police. And we do not hold guns, but we can talk to the police. And I think it's high time we have a very high-stakes meeting to discuss with the police that they have to make it a matter of urgency to look into getting the hoodlums out of the society. I want to appreciate everybody here this afternoon, and I want to say that just one thing before I sit down. In the Lagos State House of Assembly, there were PDP members in 2003, in 2007, who did not say a word in the Lagos State House of Assembly. In the House of Representatives, the APC was a minority. The leader of the minority party, APC, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, was speaking 24 hours. We must appreciate one thing. Minority will have their say, but the majority will have their way. But the public and the community will appreciate the minority who speaks the truth. So it's not a matter of all the members of the House being APC. If APC has performed as a party, the people will continue to vote for them.
We have listened to the PDP candidate. We have also listened to the APC candidate. Please let us listen to Alaji Yaya of their own party. You have the first.
Politics, it is a matter of give and take. If I'm the next leader, I'm going to make a friend with other members to make sure I recognize in my constituency. That goes a long way, but I want to put it that way. Peace, if government build a mansion here in 100 schools, million poverty alleviation, give you round. If there is no peace, nothing will be enjoyed. We have a right, by the special grace of God, if I am elected, there will be peace in the It is what we tell police to do. We are all members of this community. We are going to involve the others, the violence, the politicians, the market women and men together. How are we going to do it? We are going to do it together. The name given to we politicians is enough. If anything happens over there, you see this politician that is getting them to come and kill. 2, poverty alleviation. We are going to create an avenue to do things out to our people, not money. Thirdly, I'm making this promise today that I will be visible to everybody in the country. I will be around to ask what the problem we are facing in our community. Lastly, health program. Health program, I've prayed already that initial we are going to do it. It is God and yes. Lastly, health program. We are going to bring down ambulances to each ward in September to make sure there are some lives being claimed when all these boys started their crisis. But in the absence of what to take the victims to the hospital, in the absence of that, we lost.
Thank you very much. He's a long time Ilupeju elder statesman, the former government chairman, and is the son-in-law of the most recent past president of Ilupeju Women Association. He's visiting from London, UK. I'd also like to recognize Barrister Kole Adebite from Adebite Stevens & Co., a very vibrant Ilupeju law firm. I'd like to recognize Mr. Chide Wilkie from Wilma Street. Alaji Alarakwe Alemi. Could you give me a round of applause, please? I just want you to know some of the people in our community who are the leaders of opinion. They are some of the people who are leaders of thought and who will take what they have heard here today back to their respective communities to go and pass the word on. That if those of you who are here were carefully selected, we didn't make it an open invitation to everybody. We picked you carefully with the view that what you hear today, you will take back to the people immediately around you and use it to help them make an informed choice. So having said that, we will continue the program. Sorry we're running a little bit behind, bear with us, we won't take much more of your time, but we do want to hear from each and every one of the candidates, and we also want to give the audience an opportunity to ask them questions directly. So we'll get to that shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we've listened to the candidates for State House of Assembly. We're yet to listen to the House of Representatives candidates, so we'll give them that opportunity now. We started at 12 and it's supposed to last for 2 hours, so by my time we have about 20 minutes left. So let's try and make our contributions very brief. There are still 1 or 2 more rounds to cover, and we'll still take questions from the audience also. So let me quickly invite Honorable Yemi to talk to us about the 4 key concerns that he will focus his attention on when he gets to the House of Reps.
Well, I have 4 areas where I want to perform. The 4 areas are the age, 2, health, 3, health, 3, employment, 4, economic support program. I was born here, and I know the contribution of my elders within the society and planning here in this locality. When I was the council chairman, a lot of old men and women ran to me for assistance. And there was a day, one of them came to me and said, Yemi, my son is in university. To pay the house rent. I have the old man, how much is 60,000 annually. I said, okay. For the rest of the period I was spent here, I will pay that. When the old man left, and I called the people and said, what can we do? I said, such people, this type of people who are in need of assistance. Most of them are retired, their pension are not for me. And I could call upon my councillors and say, how do we assist the age? And then upon these several hours, and they come up with an idea. I said, we're going to assist them, depending on the age. When we started, I said, it's a lie, it's not possible. We started with 250. And like our invitation, after being there for almost 3 years, to close the petition to EFCC. And you really start putting more. Now, I got it right. I got it and I narrated everything to them. I said, how did you bring this in? I said, well, through the party and the market owners. Many people go and give it human peace. We can't find the nation for ourselves. Set up a committee that involved the pastors, the camp, Big of a mouth, they give you CPC and what have you. Have them select 1,000 men and women from age 65 and above. And that was good. That was what did we apply, making sure we take care of the few ones that will face. This program was supported by all Nigerians. I got so many accolades for that. Inshallah. Allow when I get elected, I want to stand before the people of Nigeria in the plenary to propose to present a bill and make it a law. We are the Nigerian people of 65 and above, we enjoy what they call social security scheme in universities. So that is 1. 2, on earth. Well, presently, I'm with the Lagos State government. I know how much the state government has spent on emphasis in the state. But there are so many people there who are dead, who cannot get to without this time. 1, which allow nominated and we assist the local PAC university developments and what have you. I will also that I already targeted. At all. How do I operate? Like I said, there will be more than 1. That will be going around the entire locality. It will be 2 to 5. On the first basis, going to the doorsteps. That we want to bring these facilities to the doorstep, or those who cannot afford to get to the general institute or PAC. The vehicle will be equipped with drugs and other equipment, also manned by qualified doctors and nurses that will take care of the manual ailments, hypertension, diabetes, and what have you.
It is a pity that the other members were not here when Honorable Kako was explaining about constituency fund. You did explain about distribution of constituency funds, which some people have seen what you have done. But we're just wondering what other people will do if they do come in for distribution of constituency fund. I want on education. The only one point that wasn't mentioned is about hawking, because it has gone down a little. But when you think about hawking, there are still children going around selling oranges, selling peanuts, and all the rest of it. What are we doing about those children? And another thing is, there are some, well, we call them children, they go to adult, like if they are 15, 18. Some school dropouts. When they are school dropouts and they have nothing to do, you find in Ilupeju, people are coming around to sell bread. And you find within 9 months, you find that person of 1 year that is selling bread. She's got a baby at the back that has no father to feed. I feel anybody that is a school dropout, you should make arrangements for them either to go back to school or make arrangements to fund the children's responsibility. Now, drainage. We didn't talk about that. And we talked about roads. Drainage in Ilupeju is very poor. I'm talking about Ilupeju, I don't know about Mushin, but we were told that Mushin is worse than here. But some of us, when they take children to school, our grandchildren now they come to us. When they come back from school, they cannot enter the house unless they can't bring them in. There's a flood. How do we tackle that? And many of us have been told that we have to do our drainage before the road can be done. Why should the individual do the gutter? I agree that the gutter should be looked after by every individual. And why should the drainage be looked after by individual? Contribution to the community side.
Thank you. I think she meant constituency projects. Yes. How to attract more to Mushin Constituency 1. And 2, the issue of hawking. How do we protect, for instance, our young girls from being taken advantage of when they hawk wares? And then the issue of drainage. Ilupeju as a point of reference that the drainage is poor. How do we address that challenge? Let me do it like this. Constituency projects. I think of the 6 candidates before us, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe about 3 have held legislative or public offices. 2, okay. So maybe we should allow them to address that issue of constituency projects. Then, after that, we look at the issue of hawking, and then lastly, the issue of drainage. But first, the constituency projects. Honorable Kako has talked about that, and I think what he said is quite clear. Maybe we should allow, let's allow Honorable Ilupeju to talk about that.
Thank you very much. I want us to appreciate something. I think it's very important for us to appreciate the difference between the House of Representatives and the House of Assembly. The House of Representatives have their constituency projects. The House of Assembly do not have constituency projects. We don't have constituency allowance. We don't have constituency funding. We have a salary and interest, stricto sensu. We don't have anything else. So where the House of Rep can do projects in the community, we don't have the money to do those projects. If we do anything, we lobby the government. For example, most of the transformers you see in my constituency comes from my lobby the Lagos State government to bring those transformers, which I practically, lead them into the different areas to bring the transformers in there, even though it is not the job of the state government. It is the job of the national, the Nigerian federal government. But because the people were complaining so much, we lobbied the government. So we don't have constituency projects, anything, funding, allowance, or what have you. But when you talk about hawking, we're talking about the Child Rights Law now, because you're talking about children now, I believe. And the Child Rights Law has been enforced since 2007. And the matter of hawking says that, first of all, you should not put your child on the street to hawk wares. It's illegal. Secondly, we as a nation, as a Nigerian people or African people, we know that people believe in trading. We know that some women use the money from their trading to send their children to school. Hence we say, if your child is going to trade, help you with the trading, the child must be in a closed environment where you can monitor that child. That's the first thing. Secondly, the child must have finished their homework and eaten and rested before they go out. And thirdly, the time when the child should walk must not be more than a reasonable time, per se 8 o'clock, 8:30. The child needs to go to bed to sleep. But the law is not specific on that time. It seems reasonable. And therefore, the issue of hawking should be reported to the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. I believe that I can forward, there's a booklet, a yellow booklet, where all the numbers are distributed to the different schools in the community for the children to know who to call in case they have issues of child abuse. So there's a law in place to handle that, and we are open to complaints or petitions on issues. We must be our brother's keepers. We have a law on domestic violence. That's the law I personally sponsor. It's my own law, which also deals with all these issues of domestic abuse, and it includes the domestic servants, your relations, people that are living in your environment, or people that you have had a relationship with. And, excuse me, is it working? No weapon fashioned against the child. Thank you, that's a nice news. However, those are the kind of things that we need to understand. We need you to help us, because all hands have to be on deck, like Dr. Fashola would say, to move Lagos State forward. American people will say, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. But we are willing to do for you, but we encourage you to also do. The issue of the drainage, it is a concern to everybody. I want to believe that we must appreciate that Rome was not built in a day. We have worked, if you want to appraise the APC in Lagos State, we have worked tirelessly to make sure that we bring the dividends of democracy. If we look at Ilupeju, bypass and all this NSDPC and all this, you will see that the roads are better than they've been. The drainages are better than they've been. But every ministry is competing for finance. If we do everything on roads and drainages, and we abandon health sector or education, we have a major problem. So we have to balance everything out. And we are praying and hoping that as we touch one street, we will try to touch the other streets. But we also encourage our people to clean the drainages. There's also efforts that we can call if we have clubs, because when there's no maintenance in the drainages, that's why we have environmental sanitation on a monthly basis, so that people can come out and clean their environment, so that we can have a cleaner Lagos. I would also, if you can forward the streets that you are talking about in particular, or the streets that you are talking about, because a lot of times people write to me personally, and what we do is that we try to, there's something called this local government funds that the state government has, and we can forward to the governor list of areas that we think are emergency. They need it done now, they cannot wait. And we can forward it and then add it to whatever it is that they have listed in the roads. Maybe they say they're going to do 100 roads today, or these 2-3 months left. They can still add it to it and make it a priority. So we're open to that. And the school dropouts, if you permit me to say, there's something called the second chance, like adult education in the ministry in Alausa. If they talk to the Ministry of Women Affairs, they will connect them to or if they talk to me if they want to, depending on whichever choice they have, they will connect them to the second chance schools, where they give them education even after they've had children, and where there's the nursery for them to give their children while they go to school. There's also, like I said earlier, on the skills acquisition, we also do it from the private sector, but it cannot be as big as the government zone. So it's a double thing. They can either come to individuals or go to the government. So that is the constituency project which I've actually explained that as a state member, you do not have.
I believe village supposed to be attended to by the local government. Village is supposed to be attended to by the council. Just let me make a point. If I'm elected, we are going to talk to the Ministry of Works. We are going to lobby because the honorable has to lobby. We are not going to mandate them. We are not going to face them. We are going to talk to them. Lobby is a matter of give and take. We are going to lobby to ensure that village is being done in Ilupeju. Secondly, what I want to talk about is hawking. Hawking is something that I dislike in my life. Through hawking, the children that you put something on to hawk might not be injured by Okada or by vehicle. And we want to advise the audience, any parent notice that is engaging his children by hawking. We should talk to them. But what I have in mind for that, if I'm elected, inshallah, they are going to create a committee that will look into it. We will talk to the parents of the child. What is the problem? Why are you putting goods on your child's head? Why are you doing that? If we can help us, we help them. We give them what we believe can be to help them. That is what I have. Thank you very much.
Very quickly,
Ladies and gentlemen, very much. I'm saying there's a disconnect between the populace and the representative of the populace in our legislative government. I expect there should be avenues for people who are representing people who interact with the people. For instance, constituency office is part of what we should have as somebody in the house. This office is supposed to be functional. The populace goes there. There are particular days in a week that people representing them should make themselves available for the people to interact with them and tell them this is our problem. What we think you can do about it. It's not about money. It's about the community itself. What are the places where the Jews are pushing us? We need to have an interactive session between the people and the people that are representing them. These are part of the things I plan to establish when I get to the house. Now, information is very, very key. Our honorable has said there are numbers people can call when it comes to child hawking and things like that. But this information, I'm very sure, is not available to the public. The constituency office can easily eradicate this. When information is available to the people, they know their rights, they know what to do. But this disconnect is really bringing about the information, the non-availability of information. That said, when looking at drainage system, well, there's a program we are organizing on the other side of the constituency. We've just started somehow. We call it self-help projects. On particular days of the week, if madam can make available your street, we'll go down there. We'll go down there and try to see what we can do in terms of evacuating the drainage. We're doing some of this on the other side. But I was thinking maybe this side is self-sufficient. Thanks for bringing it to our notice. But it's something we can still work on. We'll do that and try to. That's on the side of ourselves as candidates. Now, looking at the side of the government, Aurora said, the purview of infrastructural management lies in the executive arm of the government. The skill team is part of what a project that is supposed to be carried out. When you have stagnant water, you have health issues. Mosquitoes generate from there. The system is part of what the project that the executive arm of the government should be looking at. What have we done? Have we been able to enlighten the executive that these are the problems that our society is facing? We need the system in this street, in that street, in that street. The executive can put it into as part of their project and try to eradicate this. I believe we can go a long way. It's just for us to look into the society, try to disseminate information, try to meet the people, and see what the people need, and how we can go about solving the problem for them. Thank you.
Lagos is highly short-changed. You know that population-wise, the revenue allocation-wise, and it is because of the way the legislative has been framed. None of you mentioned those big issues. For the gentleman for the PDP, my question will be this. The federal government has what is called special ecological fund. If we should elect you, how would you tackle some people will go for I win, some people will go for good luck. If good luck should win, how would you tackle that stuff? Because there was, again, such change on the special ecological foundation. I require how would you tackle these big issues that are very important to this state? Thank you very much.
Okay, that question is directed at three of our candidates here, those seeking election into the Federal House of Representatives. So let's start with the PDP candidate, Mr. Femi Akibade. Then we move to Honorable Dauda, and then lastly Honorable Ali.
Before I go further, Mr. Moderator, with all due respect, I would like to have my time to answer the question quickly. And this is what I have.
Hello, sir. That drainage, we've limited and restricted that to the State House of Assembly, and I think it's been, trashed enough. Let's move on to what that. That's why I didn't want to disturb you with that. With due respect.
Okay, I agree with you. For peace to reign. On the lighter mode. I think now, Honorable Kako should return the two buses back to Honorable Ali. Since there's no more debate, thank you for your presence. There's no more debate. None of what? What has contract? On your question, sir, Nigeria is a major distributor to ecological problem in the world. How you agree with me? If I should become a member of representative with my president re-elected, I'm going to have to sponsor a bill. First of all, that will reduce emission from vehicles. All vehicles, I will quote leadership and Nicola will quote, all Shema vehicles will return to the pound. We will make steel out of them. Because the oil emits so much gas, and when you breathe in this gas, it makes us sick. It's called carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide emission should be reduced from our vehicle. We are a major contributor to that environmental hazard. Now, that is that. Coming back to the other question about how I'm going to go about it, after my president and I talk, it's going to be much more easier for me to lobby for funds to help the ecological problem we have in Nigeria. By doing that, we're promoting good health to our citizens. Moreover, environmental issues. Now, I have the opportunity to join drainage now. Bad drainages contributes to environmental nuisance and sickness. It breeds mosquito bites, gives us malaria. Government spend unnecessary money treating that since we don't have good health facility. Bad drainage is done by bad contractors. What we can do is, when you award a contract from my street, for instance, give it to 40% of the contract, give it to the people on that street. If that street is flooded by drainage, people will go and knock on your door. You collect a contract from the chairman. You did a bad contract, construction. That's one part of the business. I hope I answered the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Karako.
Well, there is a need for us to have some clarifications there, and I do think. One, Honorable, and you said they are advised to change the buses. I want to say, and you know, I started Middle School Life in 1999 when you are the council.
No applause.
No, it's just
listen.
It's just to put record straight. And I want to say again, there is no public official that is not paying allowances. I said earlier before the meeting that there is no constituency allowances. But we are giving allowances. And I do say, and I stand to be corrected, that even Lagos State House of Assembly, I was before Honorable Benjamin, there was allowances given.
Explain the allowance, please.
Like I said, the allowances is for us to take care of our domestic needs, travel from one place to another. And that is from that allowances that savings are made. And I want to say again, that the issue of school does not start when I was in public office. It started even before I got into public office. I want to say again for record purpose that in 1999, when I was in office, I have to move just to let transportation work there. I have to move from the small buses that I use. And yes, got it working. And in 1999, as a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, used that one on this children. In 2007, when I got to the House of Rep, I expanded that school using the same store. Because what you have to think about when you have to move children is mass transit. And I was even happy that Honorable Yemi as the council chairman then, did not even thought of buying the school bus.
Okay, sir. I think you've done enough clarification.
we have to put the record straight. Fine, my brother, my friend, he started using these things. I was practicing them. Okay, I want that. But when he came on board, as of right, he was using this reality, and we called him, especially was there. Now, my dear brother, we are in a civilized world. I can't say. Dangerous, you mentioned the couple of this area. Let me know force under those two. You see, the revenue generation and the revenue allocation. Everybody in the state government and Chicago are crying loud for my revenue whatever to please rearrange this distribution. Federal government is getting 52%. The remaining 48% for the councils and the local government and the states and 774 plus extra every year with them 22%. And this wise, the figure of the allocation is small, meager government to work with. That is why this level is on. The councils are the one. The councils are the one paying primary school teachers and what have you. So once we get in the job, we remove it. That this development we lose it and we arrange them and we share that we suit the council and the government at the lower level that we call the council and the states. Because the government to enjoy more economic platform than any other state in Nigeria. We have many regular people that any other state in Nigeria. Like my friend already said here, that the emissions of industries are also, added to this. So we will be able to allow one is going to win. And we look at that as these people in the anti-business liberation. We are also qualified to get the ratio in this second in this fight. So we are going to fight that that Lagos State will get all the revenue revenues. And of course the revenue. You see, I give kudos to people of Ilupeju because they are well educated, well exposed. So all people should follow pay their fair paid. But most of these things are being paid to state government companies. So we are going to look into many ways where the revenue generation will be increased and that will not actually affect the public financial.
Thank you. Quickly we move to number 3. Your name?
Please, my first question goes to Engineer Blue. You made mention of legislative powers in Lagos being overstaffed. Please, I want to ask you, if you are to grade the legislative arm with the performance of the executive, how will you do it? That's my question. And second question to you, sir. If you are elected as an honorable of the House of Assembly in Lagos, and you find yourself among these overstaffed executives in the legislature, will that stop you from performing your act as an honorable from this Mushin Constituency 1? My question also goes to Honorable Kapo. Yeah. Sir, you talk about youth employment. Sir, you said you have been in the House, National House of Assembly, the past 8 years. Can you please tell us in what area have you achieved in youth employment in this constituency? Question they ask you, like, what will you do inside the work? Sir, I want you just to tell us what have been your achievements. Because I believe Mushin Constituency 1, we are good at that. We grew up in this constituency. What have been the achievements you have made, the impact, the dreams you have also support that will affect direct effect on people of Mushin Constituency 1? That's my question. Thirdly, sorry. I'm not even filming anybody. Sir, I don't want to ask this question, sir. They talk about housing. Sir, in this area of ours, Mushin Constituency 1, how visible is that housing to us in this Mushin when you get to the National House of Assembly? How do you want to work this one out? So now you talk about peace in the level. You have not even given us how they are going to achieve this. Please, you want to know.
That should be okay for us. Thank you.
In that past, we have experienced and we have seen your good handwork, the views that also the ones you have been to, and which is having direct effect on people of Mushin Constituency 1. Man, we wish to ask you, what other loopholes have you seen again that you want to enforce to further the life of people in Mushin Constituency 1? Thank you.
Followed by Mr. Olomowewe. Then
I said, we are going to involve you and me. Those boys we are talking about, they're not masquerades. We all know them. We all know them. We call them together. Our royal fathers, politicians, market women, we sit down together. We prefer a solution to it. We need to eat together. I've said it earlier. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first question you ask, please, let me try and get it right. If I find myself in the midst of how will I create the executive arm of the government, not the legislative arm? That's the first question.
In terms of achievement, two working together, in terms of achievement.
How will I create them?
Yes.
No, that was the second question. There are two questions. The second question is, I found myself in the midst of these robbers now. How will I function upon my legislative duties? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to try and cast our mind back to the last few years of this present government running Lagos State. There are a lot of money coming down from the federal. A lot. I won't give figure. We all know what the figure is. But does it translate to the dividend of democracy? The answer is no. I will use instances in my constituency. I can count the number of roads that we have in my constituency that are functional. But when you go to inner roads, there are some streets that what I had there when I was young is still that same old town that I'm seeing now. No development. We all know this. When it comes to rainy season, it is really bad. People on that road cannot even plow the road. So that's why I said we are living on the two sides of the world. The aristocrats and then we have the downtrodden. The people that bear the brunt of the problem are downtrodden. Fine, the aristocrats, they can muzzle strength and try to develop the environment through landlord association, through CBAs, and all the rest of them. They put money, resources together and try to put all these facilities in place. Isn't it our duty to do that? No. The executive arm of the government in this state has failed us woefully. I must be honest with you. The reason why this has been is just because the people that are supposed to be the check and balance are not doing their legislative work. That's why I use that word rubber stamp. Whatever comes in, they stamp it. They pass it on. No check and balance. This money that are allocated, what happens to them? We see a lot of fancy things, fanciful streets on the television. But deep down, people that live on those streets, they know what we're talking about. I don't need to dwell on it. Now, coming to rubber stamp, will I still perform my functional duties if I find myself in their midst? most of the things I've enumerated here that I was going to do to assist the populace when I get to the house, there are things that are formulated out of the idea that I have of what our society should be like. People are really suffering. We may not feel so much of the impact on this side of the world, but on the other side, the suffering is really much. And all these things that one will do for the populace, they are not coming from the covers of the government. But I'm looking at those allowances that we were talking about, to be able to utilize all these things. To do, if I can do that at this present level, when I'm not yet in government, how easy will it be for me to do it when I get to government? The answer can best be answered.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Kakware, the question is, you've been in the House of Reps. What can you point to as your achievement as a legislator?
It's not in dispute as to that. What he wants is about employment. And I want to tell you that I've done that. It's only, you see, the question of employment, when you look at those unemployed and those who have been able to provide for, is sometimes negligible. But even from the House of Assembly to the House of Reps, we've done marvelous work. And as a member of the House of Reps, I've been able to put, you see, in the House of Reps, so many things goes there. Once as an opposition member, there is limited to, there is a limit to what you can get. As a lawyer, opposition member. But I want to tell you, I've been able to put people in Radio Nigeria, put people in NTA, put people in NPA. I've done a lot of that. As promotions and laws. You see, unfortunately, most of the companies do not do the extent legislators used to asking some of these things. But we now ensure the passage, and most of it always end up in cash being of the president. But for avoidance of doubt, I've worked on the marine terminal. Most of these things can go on the Information Act too. There are so many that you can do a lot of work.
Honorable Secretary.
Thank you. I want to start by saying that I thank you for actually acknowledging the things that we have done as a person. I also want to add that the issue of the child's right law is something that I worked on, very diligently with other stakeholders like Senator Relief Sinumbu, then First Lady of Lagos State, and the Ministry of Women Affairs, the Deputy Governor now, who was the Commissioner for Women Affairs. But the thing that I have to say about the child's right law is that there is one thing we have to remove from the law, which is female genital circumcision. And it is still giving us very severe and great concern. The reason why we have to remove it from the law is because the Muslim brothers in the House of Assembly at that time, both PDP and AD, disagreed with that particular section of the law. They said that it was against their religion for us to actually request that it be removed from the law. Unfortunately, being a Christian, I couldn't really argue too much on it, and I was the only woman in the House of Assembly then, out of 40 members. So I had to decide not to throw away the baby and the bathwater, and just throw away the bathwater Therefore, we took out the female genital circumcision and were able to pass the other beautiful benefits for children in the Child's Right Law in 2007. But we have come back to the round table and we are appealing to people to come and support us to add this as part of the Child's Right Law to make female circumcision an offense and punishable, under the law. Also, we need to encourage our people to go and register with LASRA because it's asking us what are the things I want to do. We have continued to encourage people. A brother was asking about population. There's a LASRA agency, the Lagos State and Registration Agency in Lagos State now, and we're practically begging people to come and register. It seems people don't understand the benefits of it. And every opportunity we have, we need to let them know. It helps us with planning. It helps us to bring more things to the more populated area, and we are encouraging people to register. You can go to the council and somebody will help you to get everything done. I'll direct you to the closest center for that registration. Then the law on gender and equality is something that I'm working on right now with an NGO, which helps us to recognize both male and female, and the fact that the female member of the society, our mothers, our sisters, have had the short end of the stick for so long, and therefore we're asking for this equality to be not just said by mouth, but to be documented so that those things can be seen as part of the law of the state and it can be adhered to stricto sensu. Also, the issue of microcredit to help people to get some loan, soft loan, to improve on their business. I have a microfinance bank that is helping me. I've put in 5 million naira at the beginning in 2003. I've put in several million after that just to help our women and men to get little money. Some of them have come together as a cooperative to come and collect this money. Some have been able to return and some have not. But I'm encouraging that they return the money so that other people too can benefit from it. Also, widows empowerment. We've been doing a lot, giving money to some organizations of widows on a quarterly basis, and we are hoping to increase this to maybe more than that quarterly basis or add more money to it. And then the issue with the elderly. We give them money to help them to eat, to feed. They're not asking for too much. Some of them don't need more than 2,500 naira. Some 5,000 naira. Some 10,000 to make things better for them. And also, I want to say this today, that somebody was talking about rubber stamp. I've been in the House of Assembly since 2003. Honorable Kakware has been in the House of Reps and Assembly since 1999. And so, if they are talking about rubber stamp, I expected it to let you know that at no time has the Lagos State legislator been a rubber stamp.
This is my contribution in terms of housing, local housing in Ojolo. Is that what the question is, sir? Okay. We don't have too much piece of land in Ojolo to construct low-cost housing. However, we can do something. We can use a law called eminent domain to acquire houses, deposited houses. We pay the owners the value, the present value of the homes, or more, but a little bit more. And if possible, move them to the low-cost housing in those high-broad areas. You see those low-cost houses built everywhere in the state. Are they really low-cost? Can low-cost earners get these apartments? Of course not. So they're technically not low-cost houses. So what we can do is, we can use eminent domain, acquire some of the buildings, build some low-cost housing for the residents of Constituency 1. That's what I would suggest.
Thank you very much. I have one appeal, and the other is a question. My appeal is that for all of you sitting out there, two of you are going to go and represent us. My appeal, therefore, is please do something campaign of livelihood, for people to know their rights, and for people to begin to live a decent life in Nigeria. Because once you know your rights, every other thing will follow at one place. So I include whoever of you wins to please sponsor something of education. My second question, my question, the other question, and I think that already when is on the autonomy of our local governments. Recently we heard that 24 states put a stop to passing the bill on the local government autonomy. And because we all know what our state governors do with the fundings of the local government, if you win and go to the Federal House of Reps.
In Lagos, the Goshians used to enjoy this life with regards to the fact that in the morning we have people that come out to fumigate the gutters. Structure is drainage. What about the health aspect? Do we have in plan to bring back those people that put those things behind them and fumigate all gutters from street to street, helping our little one to be able to be free of mosquitoes? This action is still going on in South Africa. Let's continue. Let's start from our constituency, Mushin, and let them spread all over Lagos. Education. Please, do you have plans to look into the teacher training, colonies, and recruit teachers that are trained and educated? Do you know that if you encourage educated teachers, they will bring back extracurricular activities to the children? More of them will be in guide, Red Cross, and this help the children with morals as they grow. Do we look into old people's home, encourage others to get work? Old people's home will create more employment in this society. What are we doing in these three aspects? My question is for whoever gets there, what are you going to do for us to live and we meet these aspects of those? Thank you. Good.
The issue of local government autonomy.
Thank you, my very friend. Without beautiful question to bring. We, the Goshen, and of course the progressives, we believe in federalism system of government. Under that type of government, the local government should be under the states. Fine, you said the bill has gone around the states, the first state is not in it. Where I'm not saying we should be done, but we should do the right thing. What is the right thing? The National Assembly, because what empowers the states to create local government. Am I communicating? So the state government should have the full control of the council. Now, when the council, the state has the power to create the council, the assembly, who are the chief of the council, the state, will now empower the council to stand on the soul. Take for example, I have not lived in America before, or in India. I do go there on holidays. I know how things are done there. The city of New York, there are various government there. They have state government, they have the municipality, they have the local government. So once we have that in Nigeria, the council will be effective. Don't need autonomy from anybody. Once the state has power to create the council, the local state will now take the function to pursue. I believe you. If that is done, the council will be empowered and very, very effective. Thank you.
I don't see anything like that anymore. There was a day I was talking to my children, there was this painting, and it was called Maja Maja. And they didn't understand what that was. So I was trying to explain to them that in the 60s and also the 70s, that was a regular sight in Lagos. All that has gone away. So there's a lot of intervention. There's a lot for any legislator to do by way of passing bills, mounting pressure on the executive to implement those bills for the good of those of us who are citizens. Once again, whatever has a beginning must have an end. We cannot go on and on and on. But I must say a big thank you to everyone, the audience in particular, and to the candidates for honoring the invitation. Of course, our able panelists, Professor Felicia Lekomi, Professor David Jumi, Barrister Ehi Esergo, for all coming here to take part in this. I will now call on each candidate to speak to us for 60 seconds, and you will be my whole timekeepers. When it's 60 seconds, we will just say time out. Okay? So we start with my brother who is very, very close to me here, and in that order, we'll take it. He's the Alhaji Yahya, candidate for State House of Assembly on the platform of Accord Party.
Thank you, Mr. Professor. I would like to thank you. Just tell you that if I'm elected, Ojulo is always on my mind. I will try as much as possible to make sure I'm around during my tenure. I will make sure my duty, I will not be lax. I will make sure what I promise, we are making a promise here. I will not fail in all my promises. Inshallah, if Ojulo elects me representing Lagos State House of Assembly, I'm going to stand by all what I said. Thank you very much.
So, Honorable Funmilayo Odedosu of the APC.
I want to thank you very much for supporting me so far. Without you, I couldn't have done all the things I've done. I want to assure you that I'll build on what I've done. I'll continue to work for our children, make sure that we put in laws that will make life easier for them. Continue to work for our mothers, our widows, and every other person in the society to make sure that life is good. I've been able to bring in transformers, boreholes, make sure that your roads are good. Through the public works, we have been able to patch the roads. Through the Ministry of Work, we have been able to tar the roads. Through the Ministry of Environment, we have been able to do some drainages, even though we know that we're still clamoring for more. We will do more. We will make sure that you are happy. We will make sure that you are satisfied. And believe you me, I have a constituency office on Caroline Street. Even I cannot be there every single day. I don't leave it open one day for you. My house is open for you. My office in Alausa is open for you. I might not have all the money in the world to give you, but the little I have I will do. And I'll make sure that life is better for us in Mushin. I want to also add with my 3 seconds left that as we continue to work together as a Mushin Constituency, what will you do in local government? I want us to remember one thing. That we should work in love. These are some of the examples I'm telling you. Give a woman a chance. Let us do for you what you do.
Give the woman a chance to engineer Ondomowewe of the PDP.
Thank you. Like I said before, there's a disconnect between the people and the leaders that you've elected to represent you in the House. Constituency office is essential and must be functional. This I promise and I will do. Also, I'm not just going to the House to be a sitting dog. I'll be a sponsor. I've looked at the area of the elderlies. it is not right for our elders, especially the pensioners, to go and be killed. So there are bills that will strengthen that will take care of the elderly. The widows and the widowers, they are not in the scheme of things. This must be adequately looked into. Then the youth and the future of Nigeria. If you look at all the bills, they are not taking care of the youth adequately. This must be looked into, and it must be functional. Thank you very much.
Honorable Kapo Aredauda is running on the platform of Accord Party.
Well, I want to thank the organizers for this opportunity. I want to thank you all for coming here. I want to say that I hope to continue to be the man you see every day. I hope to be the man you feel every day. I hope to be the man you feel the contact, the service every day, every day. Thank you for the opportunity. That's what I call this week. But let me use this opportunity. I see a lot of PDP leaders being around here. Please pass this message on to Mr. President. You should not postpone this election. You should not postpone this election. Whatever good he has done this past years, if he postpones, it's going to rubbish it. And whatever bad he has done this past year, if he postpones, it's going to be good. So please tell him that one. And I want to tell my other colleagues, please, let's before decide, let's give them a stable food and to use us and us and please let me to tell others. Bad leaders are elected by good people who do not vote or who do not think they have impact during the election. Go out, vote, and stand out of it. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Now, the APC candidate who is seeking election to the House of Reps, Honorable Yemi Ali, your closing remarks.
To our fathers and mothers, candidacy, thank you all for coming. And I want to assure you, if I'm elected, I'm going to give my government my pen, a facility, government. I promise you a progressive pay. I will stand before the 3 of the 9 members of the House to sponsor pay and affairs and life positive. I thank you for the opportunity to be here. Please, my people, the election will not be postponed. Please, I want to be easy all the way. Thank you.
Hello is going to have the last word. Mr. Femi Akipade of the people.
One day, it's so unfortunate that my honorable friend Kapuare has no presidential candidate to return the favor as his president. This election should not be about money. This election should not be about power. This election should not be about violence. This election should not be about party lines. It should be about programs. Programs that will benefit us all. Programs that will build us good housing, eradicate poverty, build us good roads, increase commerce, increase the economy, put a good school into our community, reduce the classes for our children to learn more, good teachers, rearrange the teachers, re-education them. It shouldn't be about how much politician gives to you. Because you are the one that is going to suffer. If you get the money, you sit there 4 years after. I am included too. Quote me. I'm headed to the office, inshallah, by God's grace. You will see me again. You will not see me every for 4 years, I promise. And before I go, there's a program by the president. He has signed 263 billion. You guys don't know this. Everybody can access this fund. It is for training and helping small scale industry. It is there. Go and check it.
One of you will come up here to give a vote of thanks. Then our chief host himself will also thank us for honoring the invitation to be here today. But let me quickly say that what Ilupeju today newspaper has done is very, very significant. I hope the message will go beyond the confines of Mushin Constituency 2 to other areas to emulate what has happened today. Constituency 1, I apologize. To emulate what has taken place today so that they too can replicate it in their constituencies. And I must say, you have been a very, very wonderful audience. So let me invite Mrs. Shashori to thank the organizers on your behalf for being here today. And after that, Mr. Dayo Akitobi will thank all of us, and then we have the closing prayer.
Thank you very much. I thank the candidates, all of them, for being civil in the way they spoke, and all of them in here to attend. It's a very good platform today. You have done very well. The panelists, the two professors, and my panelists for the discussion of thank you for the job very well. The moderator, we cannot thank you enough. Now to my candidates, and of course the notable audience of Ilupeju, we say thank you all for coming. But I want to use this opportunity also to respond to what the Honorable Kakwa has said. I don't know what gave people the impression that Mr. President wants to postpone this election. Thank God that people are getting innocent. I think in some people, as a person, let me say here, I said to people that if I do not get my BBC, I got it only yesterday. I said I will protest. So it's not about Mr. President, so it's very clear. And so I know as our party people, we are working. In fact, I've been getting up and one of the people called me and said, I'm calling candidates here, I'm coming and so we are working around because we want the election to go. And also, just a piece of advice for all of the candidates. We talk very well. But let's say in the education sector, please look into libraries for students roaming the streets. There are so many of them. Let us encourage library. That they go to library, they read, and they are going to book it online. This is very, very important. I saw that we will touch on that. Thank you.
The people of Mushin Constituency 1, I salute you. I salute you, I salute you, I salute you. The people of Odrolowo and the people of Ilupeju, both estates and township. I want to say this has been a glorious day. We came, we saw, we got enlightened, We're going to go, we're going to collect our BDCs, and we're now going to go and vote. And we will not only vote, we will vote wisely. Because we have heard from all of our candidates today, and I'm sure each and every one of you has been able to take a measure of each individual that sits before you today. They have asked you to entrust them with something called your suffrage. They have asked you to trust them for the next 4 years to fight for your interests, to serve you, to work for you. They have not said what the country will do for them. They are saying what they will do for the country and the people. So, the purpose of this exercise today has been fulfilled. And I trust that each and every one of you is going out here richer than when you came in. And so I thank you. And I want to start by thanking the candidates. Mustafa Owongari, Honorable Fubilai Otejojo, Akim Olomwewe, Honorable Abayomi Dauda Kakware, Honorable Adeyemi Ali, and Mr. Femi Akibade. Thank you very much. God bless all of you. Any one of the 6 of you, any 2 of the 6 of you that wins the seat has proven to be quite capable and competent. We know that any one of the 6 of you that gets there has the ability to deliver the dividends of democracy. There is none who has been found lacking today. We pray that God that we all serve will bless you and guide you and give you the wisdom to be able to do the work of the people that you have sat here today and asked us to trust you with. To my panel, Professor Oyekome, Professor Ejiume, and Barrister Ehi, thank you very much for your wise counsel. Thank you for guiding the process. Thank you for eliciting the kind of knowledge and information that will empower each and every one of us here to make the right choices February 14 and 28. To my good brother, my moderator, Mr. Larry Ilupeju, can we have a round of applause for the moderator, please? I think they have done a tremendous job today of chaperoning the whole process, and I think a lot of the success of today's event can be attributed to his deft handling of the proceedings today. To all my people, to the people of Mushin Constituency, thank you, God be with you, God bless you. When you see copies of the Ilupeju Today newspaper on the streets, the only support you can give the newspaper is to read it. Read it. Read it and become a contributor to the paper. That's the major support you can give to your community newspaper. Read it, look for it, read it, imbibe what is in it, act upon what is said there, and contribute. Send your letters, send your opinions, send your criticisms, talk to government. We are your mouthpiece, we give you a voice. That is what, the paper is a bridge. It is the bridge that separates there from there. Use that bridge to bridge the gap that separates you from them. Talk to government. They read the paper, they hear from you, and they act upon what you say. So please support your community newspaper. God